Hello, Batman. You were too late. Gotham City will be destroyed in 10 minutes.
Lavender really likes it, so she thinks it's fun.
Yeah, she's sticking her butt up. That means she likes it. I need to share the screen. What are radioactive tracers? Radioactive isotopes. So an isotope, real quick, for those who don't understand, let's say you have carbon, which has normally 12 protons in the element carbon. And that means that usually you have the same number of neutrons as protons. So carbon has 12 protons, 12 neutrons. But sometimes you have an extra neutron. So that means you have 12 protons, 13 neutrons. That can change how the element behaves. And in the case of carbon, you can also have 14 neutrons. But that instance of carbon is a lot more rare. But that's actually how carbon dating works, is because carbon 14 has a certain half-life or some shit. Like, it has a certain rate at which it decays, so you can actually pick it up from a fossil and measure how much carbon-14 is present, and then you know how old the fossil is. That's how radioactive carbon dating works. Very roughly. I'm a novice. That's explaining it from a very beginner standpoint. So, radioactive isotopes are often used as diagnostic tools in medicine. Cells can use radioactive atoms just as they would use non-radioactive isotopes of the same element. What? What does that mean? Hold up. Let's read that again. Cells can use radioactive atoms just as they would use non-radioactive... God, I sound like a fucking idiot. It sounds like popcorn reading when the fucking dumb kid gets picked. That's how I was just reading that sentence. Cells can use and then there's always that annoying ass bitch who's like, radio. It's pronounced radio. It's like, bro, you gave him 0.3 seconds to try to read that, bro, before you butted in.
It depends on how old we are.
Lisa.
How to read radio.
I'm talking like
junior in high school and some kids stumbling over radio. I'm looking at him a little
well, yeah, but you're not gonna be that bitch who butts in.
I'm not gonna be the one that's gonna be like, I might whisper if he's right beside me.
Yeah, if you're right, well then you're helping him out. But if you're butting it out in front of the whole class, that's a status move. Yeah. You're not helping him out. You're making him look like a fucking idiot.
I'm smarter than you. I know how to read radio.
That's what that is. That's what you're saying there.
Yeah.
Anyway. Oh, God. Cells can use radioactive atoms just as they would use non-radioactive isotopes of the same element. The radioactive isotopes are incorporated in... but when it says radioactive atoms, is it talking about just elements that happen to be radioactive that aren't isotopes? Is that what they mean? I feel like that's kind of a vague thing to say. The radioactive isotopes are incorporated into biologically active molecules, which are then... Holy shit, this is fucking insane. Oh, I need to read this again. The radioactive isotopes are incorporated... I had a fucking long day at work, okay? It actually was a fucking great day at work, but I used my brain a lot. So I'm having a little trouble reading this shit, alright? I'm not a fucking idiot. I promise, most of the time. The radioactive isotopes are incorporated into biologically active molecules, which are then used as tracers to track atoms. During metabolism, the chemical processes of an organism. What does that mean, bro? Can we just back this whole thing up? This is confusing the fuck out of me. Radioactive isotopes are often used as diagnostic tools in medicine. I got that. Cells can use radioactive atoms just as they would use non-radioactive isotopes of the same element. Alright. The radioactive isotopes are incorporated into biologically active molecules, which are then used as tracers. What the fuck does that mean, bro? The radioactive isotopes are incorporated into biologically active molecules. So does that mean like organically? Like they're incorporated organically through instructions from the DNA? Or does it mean that the diagnostic tools do this? I'm guessing it means that the diagnostic tools do this. The radioactive isotopes are incorporated into Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. Bonehead!
Can't do anything right.
God. We're taking... It's been 5 minutes and we have... It's been over 5 minutes and we have yet to work through one paragraph in this fucking textbook, bro. This is sad. The radioactive isotopes are incorporated into biologically active molecules. I'm guessing that's being done with the diagnostic tool, which are then used as tracers to track atoms during metabolism, the chemical processes of an organism. Is that what metabolism is? Is metabolism just chemical processes that an organism takes? That an organism undergoes? That's what metabolism is? I thought metabolism was like the conversion of nutrients into like
What was what?
other nutrients. I'm sorry, I know you're not paying attention. You're on your phone. That's interesting. That's really fucking interesting. For example, certain kidney disorders are diagnosed by injecting small doses of radioactively labeled substances into the blood and then analyzing the tracer molecules excreted in the urine. Radioactive tracers are also used in combination with sophisticated imaging instruments such as PET scanners. Let me scroll down. That can monitor growth and metabolism of cancers in the body. What the fuck? Although radioactive isotopes are very useful in biological research and medicine, radiation from decaying isotopes also poses a hazard to life by damaging cellular molecules. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. The severity of this damage depends on the type and amount of radiation an organism absorbs. One of the most serious environmental threats is radioactive fallout from nuclear accidents. The doses of most isotopes used in medical diagnosis, however, are relatively safe. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. They probably do a fuck ton of research on that shit to see what amount is safe and what is not. That's probably a big deal. Radiometric dating. Researchers use radioactive decay in fossils, this is just what I was talking about, to date these relics of past life. Fossils provide a large body of evidence for evolution, documenting differences between organisms from the past and those living at present, and giving us insight into species that have disappeared over time. While the layering... Did you know that like 95% of animals that have existed on this planet, if not more, just aren't around anymore? Did you know that shit? I'm pretty sure, right? I'm not going to Google it because I don't have Wi-Fi right now, but go Google it. Comment if I'm wrong. I want to know if I'm wrong. But, like, how the fuck does that happen? Not, like, 95% of, maybe not animals, but organisms are just, they don't exist anymore. Sorry, missed them. What the fuck? Anyway, where were we? While layering of fossil beds establishes that deeper fossils are older than more shallow ones, the actual age in years of the fossils in each layer cannot be determined by position alone. This is where radioactive isotopes come in. Yeah, so like how deep the fossil is, geologically speaking, the older it is, but it's not very precise. It's not very exact of a measurement. All right. A parent isotope decays into its daughter isotope at a fixed rate, expressed as the half-life of the isotope, the time it takes for 50% of the parent isotope to decay. Each radioactive isotope has a characteristic half-life that is not affected by temperature, pressure, or any other environmental variable. Interesting. Using a process called radiometric dating, scientists measure the ratio of different isotopes and calculate how many half-lives in years have passed since an organism was fossilized or a rock was formed. Half-life values range from very short for some isotopes measured in seconds or days to extremely long. Uranium-238 has a half-life of 4.5 billion years. What in the fuck are you talking about? 4.5 billion years. That's fucking insane. Each isotope can best measure a particular range of years. Uranium-238 was used to determine that moon rocks are approximately 4.5 billion years old. What the fuck are you talking about? Moon rocks? Uranium was used to date moon rocks. So you're telling me there's uranium present on the moon? How common is uranium? I thought uranium was rare as fuck. Are you telling me that you're just scooping up uranium from the moon? That's insane. Anyway, there's probably a microscopic amount, I'm guessing. What the fuck? Similar to the estimated age of the Earth. So the moon might be the same age as the Earth? I thought the moon was younger than the Earth because the moon kind of came from the Earth. I guess that's just a theory, but anyway. In the scientific skills exercise, you can work with data from an experiment that used carbon-14 to determine the age of an important fossil. Figure 25.6 explains more about radiometric dating of fossils. So, scientific skills exercise, do you want to do this? I'm talking to the viewers. I'm not talking to you. If you want to do it, you're more than welcome.
I don't know what you're saying.
Fuck, I'm sorry. I completely got out of this, but I accidentally went back because my fucking trackpad is a bitch and an asshole and a piece of shit. And now I need to find my place again. I don't think we were on ionic bonds yet. I have no idea what the fucking ionic bond is. Where the fuck is isotopes? Radiometric dating, here we go. So, let's just not worry about the scientific skills exercise right now. Let's worry about the energy levels of electrons. The simplified models of the atom in figure 2.4, I'll show you that in a second, greatly exaggerate the size of the nucleus relative to that of the whole atom. Figure 2.4 is this right here. This is the nucleus, the balls basically. Those meaty, juicy, spherical balls right there. Those succulent, round, squeezable balls. Tasty, smelly, sweaty balls. I'm talking about a proton, Abigail. I'm talking about an atom. Why are you laughing?
Sweaty, they would not be sweet.
Sweet and sweaty. You ever have a sweet and salty? Sweet and salty nut Nature Valley bar? You ever have one of them? What is so fucking funny?
There we go. Dinner's ready.
Dinner's ready? Alright. Let's just finish this paragraph and then we'll get on our merry way, everybody, okay? Simplified models of the atom in figure 2.4 greatly exaggerate the size of the nucleus relative to that of the whole atom. If an atom of helium were the size of a typical football stadium, the nucleus would be the size of a pencil eraser in the center of the field. Holy shit. So the field of electrons, the field in which the electrons revolve around the nucleus, would be the rest of that football field. Are you serious? Moreover, the electrons would be like two tiny gnats buzzing around the stadium. Are you fucking serious? Are you serious? So the rest of that field is just empty space. The rest of that electron is just empty space. What the fuck? Atoms are mostly empty space. When two atoms approach each other during a chemical reaction, their nuclei do not come close enough to interact. One of three subatomic particles we have discussed, of the three subatomic particles that we have discussed, only electrons are directly involved in chemical reactions. An atom's electrons vary in the amount of energy they possess. That's interesting. They vary in the amount of energy they possess? I thought they were all pretty much the same size. Energy is defined as the capacity, meaning like I thought they all had the same charge, no matter what, because it's like a pixel, like a red pixel on a screen is going to be the same thing every time. It's not like a snowflake where it's something different every time. Anyway, an atom's electrons vary the amount of energy they can possess. Energy is defined as the capacity to cause change, for instance, by doing work. Potential energy is the energy that matter possesses because of its location or structure. For example, water in a reservoir on a hill has potential energy because of its altitude. When the gates of the reservoir's dam are opened and the water runs downhill, the energy can be used to do work, such as moving the blades of turbines to generate electricity, or maybe eroding rock. They can change the temperature of your hands when you dunk your hands in there. Shit like that. Because energy has been expended, the water has less energy at the bottom of the hill than it did in the reservoir. Matter has a natural tendency to move toward the lowest possible state of potential energy. In our example, the water runs downhill. To restore the potential energy of a reservoir, work must be done to elevate the water against gravity. That's really interesting. It's like, I know that obviously things seek their lowest level when it comes to gravity. Specifically, fluids seek their lowest level. Solids do too, but fluids especially. But I didn't think about the idea that you can generalize that to say not only does water seek its lowest level, but matter in general seeks the lowest potential energy. That's really weird. I mean, I guess it makes sense because when you're looking at it from the perspective of time spent, it's time to eat.
Do you want fries?
Yeah, I want fries. If there's extra fries, yeah, I'll take some fries. I'm feeling like a fry guy right now. Feeling like a bit of a fry guy. I think I'm feeling like a fry guy, though. Hey, Abby. You know what I'm feeling like? A G6. Just kidding. I'm feeling like a fry guy. Hey, Abby, by the way, do you know my current state of mind right now? It's that of a fry guy, yeah. Abby, do you know what I really like? Water and coffee. You know what I'm gonna eat right now?
Some fries.
No. Chicken nuggets. And fries.
And your license.
I'm just going until you tell me to shut the fuck up, basically. This is an experiment. This is kind of a social experiment to see when is Abby gonna tell me to shut my fucking yap.
You know?
Yes.
You are great practice with learning patience.
I'm great practice with learning how to parent a child.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
With patience.
I'm just kidding.
Specifically needed.
I'm just kidding. She knows I'm kidding. I'm saying I'm just kidding because I know you're watching.
And you're like, oh my god.
Oh my gosh, they think that I hate my girlfriend.
Get out of there, girl.
They think that I hate my fiance.
Run for your life.
We love each other. I just want to make that clear. I'm just going to finish out this paragraph. Because energy has been expended, the water has less energy at the bottom of the hill. We already read that. Yeah, we already finished the paragraph. What about the section? Yeah, we got a good bit of left in this section, so I'm going to leave it there. We're going to get back to this in another time. I'm going to put all the biology stuff, all the biology videos, I'm going to put in one playlist. So you can probably like follow the playlist on YouTube. I'm pretty sure that's a thing. I've never checked before, but I'm pretty sure. And you can look at the rest of my biology videos. The little amount of biology we've actually discussed in this fucking video. Yeah, that's probably what the rest of the videos are going to be like too. So, yeah, just keep an eye on that playlist. And can you tell that I've been making sales calls all day? I feel like I sound like a salesman on this YouTube video right now. Yeah, keep an eye on that playlist. I feel like I'm telling them to like keep an eye out. Yeah, keep an eye on that email that I'm gonna send you at 4:30. Just keep an eye on that 4:30 email. Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that playlist. Subscribe to it if you can. I need to really check to see if you can actually do that shit, because I've been telling people to do that for the past fucking...
Subscribe to playlist.
Since I've started this YouTube channel. Yeah. Can you do that, Abby? Do you know? You don't know.
I don't freaking know.
Subscribe to the fucking... Or just subscribe to the channel, but it's just like... I make videos about like 50 different topics. I am all over the place. So, I don't know. Do whatever the fuck you want. My name is Luke. This is Castles in the Air. Go fuck yourself.